So let's look at example 2. We're graphing by fitting the axis to the curve. Now, do you see the way it's not, the picture is not keeping up with my voice. So when we put this on the internet, it's going to be really messy. All right? But just do your best. So here, what do I have to do first? Factor out the k, right? So y equals negative sine 2x plus pi by 8 minus 1. Okay, tell me, what's our amplitude? Huh? Well, it's absolute -1, which is perfect. Now, see that? Amplitude is always a positive value. That's why they put positive signs on it right there. All right. Y max is absolute value of -1 minus plus the c, which is plus a -1 or -1. So our maximum value is going to be 0. Our minimum value is going to be negative absolute value of -1 minus 1. So this is going to be, -1 is +1, but with the minus it's -1. Your 1 for the c equals -2. Our period is 2 pi over a, right? That's the formula. And that's 2 pi over 2 equals pi. The equilibrium line is the y equals c line, and c in this case is -1. So y equals -1. Special points occur every 2 pi divided by k with 2, which our period of special points occur every pi. No, what am I doing wrong? What did I do wrong? Yeah. Special points every period divided by 4. Yeah. Better? And our phase shift is pi by 8 to what? Left, right? Okay, let's draw it now as best as we can. Up to some max and down to some min. I'll draw a little grid line to help us draw it. So this is a sine function that's been reflected, right? So usually sine goes up, down, down, up, but because it's reflected, it's still going to start there, but it's going to go down and up and up and down. So it's just going to look like this. Now we just have to fill in the scale. So what do I label this line as? Y equals, it's my, it's my equilibrium line. Okay? So the equilibrium line is what it fluctuates around. Okay? So tell me, how do I label this axis here? X equals what? But it's to the left. Minus pi over 8. So, special points occur every 2 pi by 8, right? Because it's pi by 4, but we need a common denominator, right? So we're going to go negative pi by 8 plus 2 pi by 8 equals pi over 8. So this is going to be pi over 8. So we go add 2 pi over 8 to pi by 8, and we get 3 pi over 8. So this is 3 pi over 8. Then we go 3 pi by 8 plus 2 pi over 8 equals 5 pi by 8. And add 2 more pi by 8, you get 7 pi by 8. Uh-oh. Our amplitude is 1. How do I label this line? What is it going to be? 0. A is, the max value is 0. We calculated that up here, see? Right there. It's very strange computer. Okay, and the minimum is? That's negative 2. And by Joe, I think we've got it. Sorry? Shall we try a cos? Sure. Too much cell phone, not enough focus. Let's try a cosine. Okay. Which one would you like me to do? This one or this one? This one? Okay. Tell me, what is our amplitude? You tell me now. Which is 4. What's our max going to be? What's our minimum going to be? So that's going to be negative 4 plus 3 equals negative 1. Our period is 2 pi over k, and that's going to be 2 pi divided by a half. Well, how many halves are there in 2? 4. So we got 4 pi. Equilibrium line is? Right? It's just our C value. Special points occur every period divided by 4. And that is pi. Phase shift is what? To the right or left? Are we good? So now let's graph it. It's really a sketch, right? We need some grid. Well, I'm going to get my 4 more points. We need 5 in total. So I'm just going to get some nice little guidelines so we're not left in the dark, right? Got to try to work this out to the best of our ability here. Alrighty now. Now, this graph, well, where does cosine usually start? At the top? It usually starts at the max, right? But where's ours going to start? Bottom. So now let's just fill it in. Good? So it's going to look like that. So how am I going to label this vertical axis? It is equal to what? X equals what? Positive or negative? Because it's to the right. How am I going to label this axis? Y equals 3. All right. Now, our max is 7, right? So this is 7. Our min is negative 1. Now we have to do, we got our work cut out for us. Pi, it starts at pi by 6, but our special points occur every pi or 6 pi by 6, right? So we add 6 pi by 6 equals 7 pi by 6. So this is 7 pi over 6. Then we start with the next special, the one we just wrote, plus 6 pi by 6 equals 13 pi by 6. So this is 13 pi over 6. And we keep going. 13 pi by 6 plus 6 pi by 6 equals 19 pi by 6. Then 19 plus 6 is 25 pi by 6. Makes sense? Let's do a tangent one, and then we'll call it a day. It's kind of neat, huh? It's different, huh? I'm going to do a tangent function. Let's do this guy. Nice and complicated. What's our amplitude? Oh, it doesn't exist because it goes up forever. Right? It goes up forever, so there's no amplitude. There's no max. You can't go positive infinity, minus negative, whatever. Okay, what's our maximum? Does not exist. What's our minimum? Does not exist. Easy marks if we put a table like this. Can you tell me what the period is? Period is? Yes, because normal period for 10 is pi, so pi over 1/2. That's the same as pi times 2 over 1, which is 2 pi. Equilibrium line? Special points occur every 2 pi over 4, or pi by 2, right? Period divided by 4. Phase shift is what? Left. Okay, so this time we'll draw our vertical axis sort of in the center. And you know we'll have an asymptote to the left. We'll have we'll have key point. We'll have two key points to the left. We'll have asymptotes here. We're going to have a key point will reflect everything. So we know we're going to have point down, maybe there. We'll worry labeling it in just a second. Okay. This horizontal axis, how will I label that? Y equals -4. This vertical axis, how will I label that? Because there's a horizontal shift pi by 2 to the left. Okay, so for the ones on the right, we add pi by 2 because special points are every pi by 2. The ones on the left, we have to subtract pi by 2. So we'll go -pi by 2. We'll do the ones on the left first. Minus pi by 2 equals minus 2 pi by 2 equals minus pi. -2 pi by 2 minus pi by 2 equals minus 3 pi by 2. Let's do the ones on the right now. Those were on the left. Now we'll do the right. -pi by 2 plus pi by 2, that's 0. Pi by 2 plus pi by 2 equals 2 pi by 2, which is pi. Oh yeah. 0 plus pi by 2 equals pi by 2, right? Ignore that. My bad. Thank you for pointing that out. So this is pi over 2. That's it. Uh-oh. We got to get this point and that point. So it goes up by a quarter, right? So we have to go, what will this point be? No, it starts at -4. We have -4 plus a quarter equals -16 over 4, right? We need a common denominator, plus a quarter equals -15 over 4. So this is -15 over 4. So here we're going to have to subtract a quarter. -16 over 4 minus 1 over 4 equals -17 over 4. That's all, folks. Unless you want another one, but why don't you try them by yourself?